All right, perfect. Welcome everybody. We a couple minutes late, had a little couple of things to get through, but we are here. Again, welcome to Mornings with Movers. I'm Dwyght with Mack's Movement Training. We have Clifford Starks, the transformational coach. We have Phil Diamond, all about moving Tampa Bay. Everybody doing a title today. I'm excited. Let's go. What's going on, guys?
Doing well, doing amazing, and enjoying this journey, and so many opportunities are coming together.
All right. What about yourself, Phil?
I'm doing pretty good, trying to think outside of the box a little bit, man. I'm sure everybody's starting to feel in the moving industry that things are slowing down. A year's just not been what it was last year before last. So really crunching on some different things. So I got a little bit of insight to share today when the time comes, but maybe I can give somebody some helpful information.
Okay.
Nice.
So, the monkey in the room, obviously, yes. So I am closing down my moving division. I feel like closing down my moving division allows me to be able to help people in the way that I want to help people. There's been no issues as far as money goes, so obviously everybody's saying, oh, well, people closing down because they can't afford to do things. It's no issue like that. It's, hey, leave when it's good so that you can keep your mentals, your staples, because, hey, New York is not a joke. New York weather gets down to -7 degrees. And, obviously when your mentals is where your mentals are, you want to keep them at a high level versus letting it get to that point where now you are in that mental state of, oh man, I can't really feed these guys the way I want to feed these guys, do the things I want to do for the people around me. So again, we are making a pivot. We got some stuff lined up for you awesome folks in the near future. Not saying anything. You're just gonna have to find out. But I'm excited about what the future has. I'm excited about what Phil has on the agenda today, because I know that Phil has been learning a lot this week. But yeah, Phil, what's new?
Well, during a time like this, man, where, a lot of people numbers are down, whether they want to admit it or not, me and you've been friends for a couple of years now, Dwyght, and I mean, you've heard, some numbers that we put up, even at the beginning of the year, we were hitting big numbers, man. And it seems like as the summer continued, it just kept going down. Like you go from 140, 150, down to 100 moves. Next thing you know, you're charging, we're not regulated here, so we can charge whatever we want to charge.
Mm-hmm.
You can charge $500 an hour if you get somebody who want to pay it, but hourly rates are going down, not just with us. I can, one important thing to always keep in mind as a moving company owner or owner of any business, that you have competition of what your competition is doing, what they're charging, how they're charging. But you can't always look at the hourly rate, because it's a mix and match game, because ain't nothing free. What I've learned is, you see these guys or see a guy, and you have to really get the entire format of their business on how they're charging, right? So a company, just say a company is charging, $120 an hour, right? And you're charging $130 an hour, right? And it's just basic math when you break it down, right? And just say, they're charging, on the percent of the bill on the fuel, and say you're charging just a flat rate of, just say $40, right? So they're probably going to be getting a little bit more money out of that percent off of that bill than you're going to be getting off of your $40, right? Then just say, and it's just basic stuff, man. Like, okay, you're charging $10 for a king mattress bag. They're charging $40, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're quoting your jobs, man, you got to know what the hell you're quoting. I mean, period. Everybody's. I always hear people, oh, what do you guys charge an hour? Well, what does that matter? You know what I mean? Really, when you're breaking down a 3 or 4 hour job, 6 hour job, here in our area, the average job is 6 hours. And look at me knowing something about my business.
Okay.
The average job is about 6 hours, right? So if you're charging $10 more an hour than I am, right? But I'm charging $20 more for a mattress bag than you're charging. I'm charging $40 more an hour per TV box that we're using, and I'm using 2 or 3 TV boxes on the average house, and then I'm charging more for fuel. So guess what? Who cares what you're charging by hour? But guess what? Guess who's looking at that hourly rate? That customer, right? Because local moving, and this is for us, for local. That nothing to do with long distance, but what is customers, their focus at that hourly rate? And of course, you're running out of a CRM. It's giving somewhat of an idea of time, So what we've done is, you get people, and we're testing the waters with this, man. I think we got our first client yesterday signed up, but we signed up for a company. It's called Afterpay. What happens is, just say that client that can pay, $1,000 for their move. Just say they want packing, but they just ain't really got the money like that. And see, in our area, man, you got a population, man. This is a retirement state, so of course, some of these people don't really want to do their own packing, but they can't maybe they got the money, but of course, you get to an age, man, you got to really watch your spending. It's difficult to live off Social Security and things of that nature. So Afterpay gives 6 months of interest free. They pay, I think, 15 or 20%. No quote. It's one of those two. They pay 15 to 20% down. There's really no credit. There's a credit check, but a soft pull, and pretty much anyone's pre-approved. Approved. So now you got that client that you can get on a pack. Now we're getting ready to launch this big campaign and promote it a lot now. And a lot of people are like, man, you're probably going to get some crappy customers. I don't even care. Deal with it. Right now, we got mouths to feed.
Right.
People got to eat. Right. And if that customer, well, if they ain't got no credit card or afford to move, they shouldn't be moving. Well, guess what? They're moving, and somebody's moving them. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to move this client, man. And a paying client is a paying client, bro. And I always think about this, man. We had a client, man, and it's been 3 years ago, man. And I'm sure she's probably not watching this podcast because she's not on there. But walked in. This is back when I was doing damn near all the moves, man. Come to find out, man, she was a realtor, right? Walked in. She had shit in bags and shit, And I'm like, man, this is a crappy move, man. And come to find out, man, you fast forward, man. I think this has been a 7-year relationship, man. This lady throws us every year, man, $100,000, $200,000 worth of freaking business off of a crappy job. Now, not every job is like that, So this week has been a little bit of a challenge for me. Kind of had to let go of some people, man. And so, of course, we got obligations, man, right? Customers booked. We have a policy of no customer left behind, right? And so I've been having to go out on a job 2 days, Man, I go out on a job the other day, man, and get there, and this lady's like, 5,000 feet away from where the truck's at. Of course, she's on the 2nd floor. So she's got 3 black trash bags, man. And I'm like, get ready to pick them up. I'm like, sound like glass in there and metal. Man, I open the bag up, man, and look in there. Man, there's a lamp, a knife, in a plastic bag, utensils and everything. So I'm like, man, I'm like, hey, I'll take care of it. But you know what? I'm like, let me put this in a box. Let me get you situated here. Oh, thank you. So I go in the bedroom, man, and her dresser's so loaded down, bro. IKEA. The dresser's like this. It's got so much stuff in it. Man, I open the drawers up, man. There's pots and pans in the dresser. I said, you must be cooking in here. Man, I couldn't even get mad. So I wrap this dresser up, man, in a big ball, man, and man, we haul this thing down the steps, man, and I just hear pots and pans in there, clink, 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 clink. Yeah, I'm like, man. So I forgot that the damn lamp was in that plastic bag. I done put it in the front seat of the truck because didn't have a box for it, man. And I just happened to be driving, leaving the job, and look over, the damn knife is sticking out of the damn bag right at me. I'm like, man, if I even swerve wrong, I'm gonna get stabbed in the kidneys, man.
Hey, it is Halloween season.
And everything in there, man. Man, it was forks and everything in that bag, man. A lamp, forks, spoons. I mean, all kind of crap, man.
It's Halloween season for a reason. But
man.
yeah, no. So do you guys got anything planned for like your staff during these times of years? Like anything in the pipeline for you guys?
Well, you know, you talking about for the guys?
Yeah.
Well, you know, for us, I mean, we've been staying somewhat I don't want to say even consistent, man. You know, we got warehousing now, so there's always something to do around here. Not for 18 guys, but there's stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the good thing about it, man, is I've been blessed, man. And, you know, I've been networking with, of course, you know, guy over here in the area, man, and he's been kind of hit or miss too, but it works out this way, man. And I don't know why it's been doing this for the last 2 or 3 years. Sometimes he's busy and I'm just like, we're dead. So, of course, I send some of my guys over there to help him out, you know, because he ain't got the guys.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And, you know, you know, like I've got one of his guys that was one of his employees. He didn't want to work over there no more. And he just kind of came over here and never left. And I took him and trained him. And I mean, he's like, man, I wouldn't mind having him back now. Yeah, I done trained him now.
Yeah. No, so no, that makes sense. I was thinking
I done trained him now, of course.
No, I was thinking like for like the holiday season, you know, giving back to our guys. Right now we know that it's stressful as it is because of the lack of work going on. And it's only gonna get worse at the end of the day because we're going into Christmas season and you know Thanksgiving. So you know, some of us, like myself personally, I like to take a vacation around Thanksgiving time and then probably again around Christmas time. So you got to think there's probably about a week or 2 weeks where things are just going to be slow because it's that time of year anyways. But like I was thinking like even for this month, you know, I was thinking about getting something together where maybe we take our guys to some type of an event for like Halloween theme. There's a place called Jiminy's Peak up in Mass that's amazing. You know, you got some haunted houses. You know, you got to watch your guys because your guys might be a little crazy. Like, oh yeah, we don't do clowns, but and not a lot of people do them either. So, you know, I heard some event, I think 2 years ago, where one of the guys went to an event and they hit the clown. I'm like, damn, they said that they ain't put hands on you.
Oh, man.
But, you know, they got a haunted house up there and then they got like a ski slope that goes up in the dark. So it's like pure dark and you're just high up in the air. And when you get off, you got to go through this haunted field. Where basically people are just jumping out of anywhere and everywhere, and you're just walking through an open field. So I think that's probably something I'll probably invite the guys to or so like that. For like Thanksgiving time, you guys could probably get together like a feast where you bring all your guys together, everybody bring a dish, and you kind of have like that family-like feast prior to Thanksgiving. We try to do the Secret Santa around Christmas time. But obviously everybody act like they broke, you know, damn well they get like $600 plus in tips a week. And they be like, oh no, I ain't got it. All right. We want to get away from that. But
yeah.
Cliff, what's some cultural stuff you've seen in the past that you think might be a good idea?
A good idea of getting the guys together. One thing that I'm learning through Curtis, because it is seasonal, it's figuring out what you can do for them seasonally. So he's actually going to start having his guys do Christmas lights, hanging up Christmas lights during the December time. And it's really figuring out like, because Phil, as you were talking about, yeah, there's people who want a nickel and dime, but surprisingly, most people pay for value. You know, that's what they're looking to pay for. Now, that's not to say that the moving industry doesn't have valuable services to offer, but do does the customer value the service? And if they don't, why don't they value the service? And it's really guys are going to have to get really, really creative now because
Mm-hmm.
it is tight. You know, it's really, really tight with those interest rates coming up and everyone jumping in the moving industry because of 2020 and 2021. They're like, oh, this is easy. I'm going to get in the moving industry. I'm going to make a lot of money. And now there's saturation and there's fewer and fewer people moving. It can create competition, but it also creates innovation. And I know Louis Massaro is going to be hosting an event in October, and the AI is going to play a role because when you can use that AI correctly, it's going to be a gold mine for
Mm-hmm.
whoever's using that right. When they figure out how to use it, because it's a tool, but it's a tool that you have to know how to use. You don't know how to use it, you're going to be a dinosaur. If you know how to use it, you have a chance. And those creative, innovative people are going to move in and do some amazing, amazing things. As Phil was talking about, adapt or die. That's what I call it. It's adapt or
Mm-hmm.
die. And sometimes us being around 20-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids, they know what they're talking about because they live in a completely different world than we did, you know, and even than my parents did. And I start seeing like the best way you adapt is by being around people who are either adaptable or who live in a completely different world than you because they're going to make you think differently. They're going to make you see things differently that you didn't see before. Like, holy crap, I didn't know that tool could do that. Opportunities are everywhere, though. They're always
Cliff
they're
making us feel
everywhere,
old.
all the time.
I was like,
I'm old
Hey,
Cliff
too.
making us feel old. We used to be, oh, you guys are the future. Now we gotta think, no, they're the future.
hey, ain't that
I just
something?
I just accept. I started seeing these gray beards coming in, and even so, Dwyght, you know Dakota. Phil, Dakota's one of my boys, and he's got about I got about a decade. He goes, Cliff, you okay? I go, yeah, I'm fine. What's up? He's like, you're showing some gray hair. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, man, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to do a
No.
brother like that. That's part of the name of the game. People want to mess with us. So I just accept it and go around the young bucks and learn a thing or two.
That's
Definitely,
it,
definitely.
man.
But no, one of the people said in the comment the other day, one of my posts that I posted in the group, where he was like, it's all about like who has the cheapest price nowadays. It's all about who has the cheapest price, not about value, because whatever reason. And I'm like, we can't get away from our principles. We do have to adjust our rates. Don't like let's not be, you know, um, I guess whatever the word is, oblivious to that. We do have to adjust our rates, but we can't get away from what's our unique purpose. We have to be able to stick to our values, stick
And
to what we do
I
great.
also want to add what I want to add something to that. See, I want people to actually answer the question, what does it mean to have value? Because there's actually a definition for value. I think people get it wrong. They think value means hard work. They think value means doing it the best. No, value to an individual is their outcome times the likelihood of it happening divided by the time delay times the pain that it will take. And so, as a personal trainer, when I was a personal trainer back in the day, some people would value liposuction way more than the training. It has nothing to do with how get your body right and your mind right. I have to convince this particular client or individual that my value is higher than liposuction. But liposuction has clear opportunities. All right. The likelihood of it happening, it's obvious that it's going to happen. They're doing that. Their dream outcome, they want to look better. The time and the delay it will take, it's instant. They get it right away. And the pain that they go through 6 weeks of pain versus personal training, they go through a year, maybe more to get to where they're looking to go. So the value, it's a value equation. And instead of, and I'm saying this with love to all you leaders out there, but as a leader, really, really ask yourself, well, what is value? And is value to me value to that person? If they're thinking in their head, oh, you just move boxes around. Yeah, that's not very valuable to a person. Oh, okay, you move boxes around really good. That's not a lot of value to a person. You got to be very specific in what value means to them. Don't say that you know what value is to them, because I can't even know what value is to a person. Until I know you, Dwyght, I know you, Phil, and I can't know what value means to you until I actually have a conversation with you and really deep dive into what is valuable to you.
I think.
And the craziest thing, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going on a little bit
No,
of
no,
a
no, I
rant,
was
but
gonna-
the craziest thing to me, like one of our most important things is our health, right?
Mhm.
Like I know how valuable health is. And when do we value it? When we're having a heart attack, high blood pressure, about to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not valuable to that person. It's not valuable to them until they're in the pain.
Yeah, I think one of the things is because it's, and I'm, before I jump off, because now I feel like Phil a little bit. My mind is jumping all around the places, but just got to say one
Oh,
thing.
boy.
I didn't expect to come in here and do math equations this morning between you two. Phil throwing out numbers, Cliff got equations going on. I'm like, God,
I know, right?
hold up, let me get a
Right.
calculator. but no, one of the things is figure out what your company really does good. Sit down. This is your down season. Sit down, figure out what your company does really, really well. If you got any less than 5-star reviews, look at those reviews on your Google. Look at those reviews on Yelp, whatever. And basically see where you went wrong. If it was something where it was a human error, your guys wasn't wrapping things quick, good enough, or if it was your guys aren't moving fast enough, whatever the negative comments are, look to improve on those things, because it's not everything that your company need to improve on. And I know Phil is a big believer in being a perfectionist, and a lot of us are. And that the perfectionist thing can kill us as well. As good as it can make us feel at the end of the day that, hey, everything is going as good as we would like, there's no perfect system. We're managing people. And those people aren't perfect. And those people don't plan on being perfect. They just want $1.
Nope. That's it.
So, so
Check.
that perfectionist mindset of, oh, it got to go this way. Okay, we're going to get these guys in here at 8 o'clock. They're going to be out the door by 8:15. They're going to be at the customer house by 8:59. Not going to happen. They'll probably get there at 9:01. And then we got Miss Lewis calling us saying, these guys are supposed to be here at 8:59. And now Cliff on the phone like, Miss Lewis, you said 8:59. So, but I was actually looking at one of our old shows the other day and looking at that moment where Cliff had his out of the box moment. It was the most hilarious thing. So, but I'm going to upload that clip. I think it actually is on TikTok right now. If you're following me over there, I actually uploaded it yesterday and it was hilarious. I had Phil scared and everything. I was good. I was comfortable. But no, it's one of those things where, like I said, just focus on what you can focus on. I've been a big believer in trying to be a perfectionist myself. And then we actually had a company come over yesterday to move a customer out of our storage. And I've always been, questioning that as well, how you guys handle that. Do you guys, if a customer, you move the customer into your storage, but she didn't want to use your services to move out for whatever reason, but she hired another moving company to come move her stuff out. How do you guys go about, I guess, handling that? And if the audience
throw it in the parking lot.
Go ahead.
Throw it in the parking lot. Throw this shit in the parking lot. Nah, I'm joking. So we've only had, this storage for a few months, so we haven't encountered that. So I do know that my guys picked up some stuff from another company, a little south of us here. And my guys got there and they were like, they just threw it in the parking lot. like literally, like the dresser was
What?
on its side. Oh yeah, and the customer, I'm assuming they were. When I really start thinking about it, I'm like, these people was probably a little bit over the top because the lady was, I could tell they probably was over the top with this company and they didn't want to hear that shit. So when it came to us, they seemed like they were nice. You know what I mean? So I ended up contacting that company. Like, yeah, these people are a pain in the ass, dude. I'm gonna tell you. But they end up throwing the stuff out in the parking lot, dude. They put it on cardboard though. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
they was
Courtesy.
nice about it. You got to be a little professional.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was raining. Started raining a little bit, but they literally put it out in the parking lot and closed the door and left the inventory list on the top of the stuff and didn't say nothing to my guys. I'm like, dang.
Well, you said they'll be there between 8 and 9. They showed up at 10:01.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then they charged the customer like $700 to do that, and they paid it, of course. But these people had money, man. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that, man. Just throw it out in the parking lot. I mean, you definitely don't want, unless you got self storage. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different deal. But like us, we have pretty much warehousing, so that means they got to back their truck into your warehouse. In here messing around, and anything can happen at that point. You know what I mean? Because then you're dealing with something. We know how this industry is, man. This need to be a reality TV show. It needs to be.
You ain't never lied.
This shit right here, dude, and it starts in the morning, right? Your TV reality show starts in the morning with your movers, right? So you're out there waiting.
The industry, Phil.
Yeah, man.
You start doing reality TV shows and people start respecting movers a bit more. Like,
it's stupid.
You got to deal with
what? It starts with the guys and ends with the customers. I mean, you start with a guy. He comes. Hey man, I need to work, man. 1,000 hours, man. I got to pay my rent. All right, man. Come on in, man. I'm gonna work it the next 5 days straight. He called in the next day. Boom. What's wrong, dog? Ate my homework. And then he'll work. And he'll be like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. You think life shows up, then next thing you know, bam, he calls in again. And then he gets his paycheck like, hey, man, you think I can borrow like $300 or $400? Man, you tripping. Man, I got a guy, dude. And I don't know why, dude. He's act like he can't stay on his feet, right? I don't know why, bro. So he comes in every morning, and he's a newborn baby every morning. Oh, what we doing? It's in your portal. Oh, what? Okay. And then he goes and gets his phone. I can't see it. And I'm like, why? I ain't got my glasses. And I'm like, well, go get your glasses. Then he go get his glasses, and then he comes back and he's like, my phone froze. And I'm like, every morning, bro. And I'm like, all right, well, go get this and go get this and this and this, and this is what you need. Okay. Then he comes back and he sits down and I'm like, boom, where we going today? And I'm like, yeah, right here. This is your address. You go, oh, okay. And I text it to him. Oh, okay, that's where we're going. Okay. What we need again? I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Man. It should be a reality. I mean, it just kind of goes every morning. Every morning it's the same thing, man. It's like, man. And then of course, then you got to deal with Mrs. Ingleston, right? Mrs. Ingleston trying to get a discount. I had a little bit of an encounter with a customer on Sunday, dude. And I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I was very unprofessional. But I let a little bit of my personal stuff get in the way because I noticed some things with this client. That, hell, he was beating his wife. He didn't have to tell me. I already seen it. And I stayed out of it, and I watched this guy put his hands on his wife again in front of me. And I'm like, man, put your hands on me. You want to put your hands on somebody, put your hands on me. But I should have never acted out like that because this guy... And this is where the reality TV show kicks in at, right? So we quoted this guy for a pack and move, right? Now, I had to go on this job because, unfortunately, somebody called in. Boom. So the guy, one of my guys called a guy. He's like, oh, I got to call your office because y'all done took advantage of me yesterday on my pack. And he's like, well, why? Oh, y'all overcharged me. So we get there. Of course, he done called it office, So Melissa calls me and tells me what the guy says. So I get there, he pulled out his phone. He's like, oh, this is what Google says this shit costs. And I'm like, what do you mean? well, look at this. This is a quote I got from Google. I'm like, well, why you didn't get Google to move you, man? You know what I mean? Now, this whole time that he don't know I'm the owner of the company, right? I just keep rising. You got to call the office, man. I don't know. You know, just get the job done. So the guy, you know, he's looking for something wrong on the job, dude. So I told the guy, wrap everything in the house. I mean, everything, iron, wrap it, everything gets wrapped. Everything. It was a 2-bedroom, dude. I think we blew through 200 pads on a 2-bedroom. That's how much wrapping. Oh yeah, everything. And he wasn't moving but 2 miles. So he's looking for anything. So stuff's coming off the truck, bro. And I done took pictures of stuff all day, broke stuff. I mean, got, you know, just not good stuff. Oh, look what you done, man. Telling one of my guys, oh, you broke this. I'm like, yeah, that was already broke. Oh, it was, man. Oh man, it must have been in the corner. I didn't see it. Oh man. Then I hear him like, oh yeah, I'm gonna end up paying what Google said. I'm gonna figure out a way to get this bill down. I said, what do you mean? What are you trying to accomplish here, dude? You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? And he was like, oh, or you know, your guy broke that frame over there. And I'm like, dude, you just dropped it in front of me, man. Like, what are you doing, man? And then he said some kind of racist stuff out of the way, dude. And I got in his face, bro, quick. I went from 0 to 100. Bam! You know, Tupac, Thug Life, West Side, you know, that kind of shit. Real quick.
No,
hey,
it's the
hey,
word.
I was about to call Clifford and say, hey man, I'm about to get in the arena. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to start kicking ass.
I don't know if it
But
was
this
you,
is that right there.
I don't know if it
That
was
would have been
you
a
or
perfect-
not. I was gonna say, Phil, I don't know if it was you or not that that one time I think the customer called, wanted to speak to the owner, or whatever the case is. You went to the back of the truck, closed the door, and spoke to him on the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He come back saying,
I
"Yeah,
had a
that's
customer call me out one time. Yeah, I had a customer call me out one time. She said, you the owner of the company? I said, I'm the manager. I mean, that's what my title's labeled as, manager. So I ain't lying, right? And she said, I went and looked on Sunbiz and your shirt says Philip. I said, oh man, should call me out on the job. You know, we know what happened after that, boy. Everybody got their tips, boy. I'm sitting there looking dumb. That water she gave me was my tip.
Oh, now they want to be
I
Google
did it yesterday. Well, yesterday, let me tell you. So we got a new contract with a interior design lady, man, and so she had her own truck and stuff like that. But of course, it just came overwhelming for her, and of course, truck insurance, and she does it all through the state. So I wanted to go out and kind of see what they did. So of course, I go in. They have a warehouse, and I go in real quick. Hey, man, Phil, and walk away. Boom, start working. So we get down to the end of the move. She done came. I seen them 100. I heard her daughter say, "Hey, go up to the store and get them some tip money." So I said, "Boy, tip money." Hey, boy. So did she put that $100 in my hand? Get what I said? I said, "Hey, it was Paula. It was very nice to meet you." I said that, after having all these phone conversations with you, yada yada yada. She looked at me and she was like, "Oh, you the owner of the company?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I told her, I gotta get that 100 first, though. Let me get that. so we was at the job, right? We was on the job, and she had like 3 or 4 pieces because we were way like 3 hours away, dude. And she's like, "Hey, can you guys take this back to your warehouse and store it for us?" I said, "Ma'am, you got to call the office." So she called the office, and then Melissa called me. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? It is, dude. Because I already know how people is. It'll turn into a reality TV show, bro, before you know it. Before you know it, people are like, "Oh, well, you can't give me a discount," because they know you can give them a discount. And no, man, I just work here. I told the girl, I just work here, man. I don't know. Who I blame it on? My wife. That's who I blame it on.
Yeah.
You better call her. You better call my wife. She does the billing. I don't know nothing about that.
So we had to go out. We had to go out back to a job site one time because obviously our guys didn't do everything they needed to do on the job. So, The customer was complaining that her bed wasn't hooked back up properly, all this other stuff. So we go back out there, me and my dispatch manager, we put the bed back together, got everything nice, stationed everything where she wanted to be stationed. And then we left, and it was one of those things where before we left, she was like, oh, what are you guys' names? Because I'm going to tell the company that you guys were so amazing, blah, blah, blah. So, now prior to going here, I told her, hey, I'm speaking to her on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I'll be over there soon. Bring my guy and we'll get everything situated. So, she knew that obviously I was coming. So I gave her my name. My guy gave his name. And then basically as we left, she calls the office. Granted, I have the app on my phone. So I'm like, all right, hey, what's going on? She's like, oh, your two guys, Dwyght and John, they were so amazing. And I am so grateful. And I'm like, damn, how do you play this? Because I'm like, damn, I don't want to make her feel like she's special. But then I'm like, okay, I'll let him know.
That's the best thing to do. Because the first thing she would have said is, for this inconvenience, I wasn't even offered a discount. I wasn't even offered a discount for the inconvenience I did.
Oh yeah, you get those customers too. You got a nice 3-hour minimum, and the job is 2.5 hours. Goes to 3-hour minimum. They're like, oh yeah, I was surprised that I couldn't even get a discount for my service. Lady, did they go over? I'm a little confused. Like, right. Like, no matter, man. You know what? I'll take 30 minutes off, but it's still gonna round up to 3 hours.
Right. Whatever. System automatically kicked it. But you know what, dude? We're in a challenging world right now. Just like you guys were talking about earlier about value. And I seen another moving company owner posted something in another group a couple of days ago of, he's got his sales team, including himself, trying to, still trying to build value. And that ain't what people are looking for right now, man. I mean, I hate to say it. And I get it. I guess certain areas are doing a little bit better than certain areas, right? Mm-hmm. But, when times get like this, the guy that's sitting there talking about I'm charging for my services is going to be the guy that ain't going to be there. I'm going to be honest with you, dude. You got to get with the times. You got to get with what's going on. You know what I mean? Because I didn't go through the 2008 recession in this moving industry, but I went through it in the car business, and I watched other businesses that I knew people, how they survived that, right? And how did they survive it? How did they stay working, and how did they? Because the whole thing of it is you got to keep money coming in. I mean, some kind of way. And it may not be as much as you would like. It may not even be enough to pay the bills, but it's paying some bills, right? So, and that's what it kind of boils down to, man. I get it, man. I feel like we're one of the best in the Tampa Bay area. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm not charging like we're one of the best in the moving industry. We have a lot of trucks to move. We have a lot of guys. We got a lot of bills. And we're going to do what we got to do, period. It is what it is, and because everybody else is doing with it, but I think the problem is, man, is everybody's going into a little bit of a panic too of, they're not, before you go down or go, I mean, you can't do this in New York, of course, just randomly like we do it. It don't matter here. It's whatever. It's open game, whatever. Charge whatever you want to charge, But the problem is here, man, is no one does their footwork before they start lowering or raising their price. They don't even know what no one else is charging. They just, we just need to do work. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, they're charging, $30 less an hour. Here goes some free mattress bags. Here goes this free stuff and all this stuff, And then next thing you know, you're in a bad situation, man. And I think we've all went through a panic and not knowing what to do, man. Especially like you said, Dwyght, a lot of people jumped into this industry in the last few years, because they knew, they heard, seen, whatever. Oh man, moving companies are making some money right now, man. And now what do they do? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What are they going to do now? Because this is just beginning. What goes up must come down theory applies.
Yeah.
I
think Anthony DeRozzo said it best. He says, used to think you didn't have to have a brain to be a mover. Nowadays, a lot of people don't have brains. And, and that hits on what you're saying, Phil, where it's just like, if you just jumped into this industry, and I know Cliff mentioned this, so I'm gonna give Cliff his credit, but if you just jumped into this industry thinking that, hey, you know what, I could pick up a box and put it down, and oh snap, we're gonna make $1,000 off of this. Now, in these trying times, it's like, yo, where's your brain? What are you gonna do? Because picking up a box isn't worth $1,000 no more. It's maybe worth 800, maybe 700, depending on the market. But your bills are still that $1,000. Your bills aren't going to change. And now you got yourself into a situation where you're like, well, damn, that box ain't $1,000 no more. It's $700. What am I going to do? What I'm going to do? And you start panicking. And it's just like, yeah, that's where the ingenuity needs to come into place. Hey, what do you need to charge? Now, you can't charge but so much right now. So obviously you got to figure out how can you get your trucks rolling? What more could you do? Is there final mile deliveries? Is there junk removal? Is there cleaning services? Is there painting services? What more could you do, but not get too far outside of your comfort realm of transportation? Because we definitely need to diversify.
And then the other piece too is, in life, we are either building good faith or we're taking it away. And so when we get innovation, can be something as simple as, so for instance, Phil, you're charging less, but give a reason to why you're charging less. And don't give the reason of, well, everybody else is doing it. No, hey, we're here to help the community. We know the pockets are tight right now, and we want to serve you in the best way that we can serve you.
Good deal.
Do you know anyone else who would need a service like this? Because yeah, we're in some tough times right now.
You know what? That's a good point there.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't be doing it. In other words, don't be doing it just to be doing it. Without
Exactly.
You will lose every single time. Race to the bottom.
It's funny, man. We're running a promotion.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say, Jake said networking, chasing 5-star reviews hard right now. And community service. That's been his focus for this year. So it's, hey, you know what? The networking game isn't changing. We service everyone as a moving company, which is why this business is almost recession proof. Where, hey, there's different avenues: commercial movement, government movement, local, private. There's so many industries that we hit because everyone got to be moved in some way, shape, or form. So it all comes down to networking, and really getting out there.
Also, if Jake wants to have a conversation with me, I'd definitely be open to have that conversation. I'm not looking to charge you or anything like that. I do just genuinely like helping people. So Jake, if you want to have a conversation, because networking is one of my superpowers, and it can take you a long way. I'll say that much.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, hey, we're not, hold on. He said, hold up. So Anthony said, I say the same words. We are in a tough time and the clients need to hear that. That's the reason why we lower our rates. Jake said, join 3 different realty groups, gets me in the door with brokerage, bankers, and home inspectors. And then he said, okay, Cliff. So he left his contact for you to reach out to him, Cliff, in a group. So yeah. Okay, perfect. There's options out there. There's opportunities out there. And right now, this is the time to be exploring them. If you're at home or you're at the office and you ain't got nothing going on and you just trying to find work in your office just to be doing, you could be out networking. Still know your client base. Some people are still beating pavement saying, hey, let me put flyers up in the laundromat. That may not be your client base. Putting out, going to properties like apartment complexes and putting up flyers and business cards on their community board might not be your market. Maybe it is your market. I don't know. But, obviously getting out to like these networking events where people can say, well, hey, you know what? I'm the head person of a college. Students are moving every semester. We could probably use your service. would probably be more value to you than, you know, looking to have tear off flyers and at the laundromat.
Yep.
So it's just, it's time to think outside the box, you know, not to spend so much money. If you already joined the chambers of commerce in your area, you know, they have great resources. If you already joined your local chapter for the moving associations in your state, that's a great area to still network and get advice from people that's doing what you're doing. What else? The B&I groups are a great source, very expensive, but great source. And there's other networking groups, you know, there's Facebook. You can always find local communities. Like, I didn't know, one of my guys let me know that, hey, did you know that there was a city page on Facebook that you reside in? And I'm like, no, I never knew that it was a city page. They was like, yeah, because they're talking about you. Oh, what the hell? I hope it's good. And, you know, he's like, no, they were saying something or whatever the case is. And there was some bad rumors going out about one of the guys that worked for my company on a community page. So I was like, interesting. Okay, what's the community page? So he told me the city name. It was a city group page. It was like, oh, Green Island Group. I was like, oh, okay. Let me join the group. And the group had damn near 3,000 to 6,000 people in the community. I was like, God damn, I didn't even know that many people lived in this community. But you know, now it's like, oh, wait, this is a whole community of outreach. So whatever my company is doing in that community that's going to be good, this is a place where I can network and say, hey, you know what, we're doing a back to school saga right now, where from August 20th to August 30th, we're giving back book bags, pens, school supplies. Come down to Mack's Moving Company and get all of these things. And these are things you can do for outreach, which then get word of mouth about your company. And hey, you're off to the races. So it's a bunch of different things you guys could definitely be doing. Other than that, like I said, with value, again, Cliff did the mathematics earlier. It's one of those things where, hey, you can lower your rates to, if you're in Florida, you could say, hey, we're charging $105 an hour with 2 men in a truck, if that makes you money. But don't get away from laughing and joking with that customer. Because if you can build a rapport with that customer, then that customer will be your customer regardless of what you charge, you know, to a certain extent. You know, because there's times where I was on a call yesterday with a customer, and the customer was like, yeah, I use your services way back then, and these guys were great, and blah, 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 blah. I think you even came out there, sir. I don't think I came out there, but yeah. So, you know, so while he's talking, I'm kind of building a rapport. I'm joking around with him. You know, obviously he's explaining how maybe he's a little of a hoarder or whatever the case was. And I was, hey, I'm gonna go with it. If that's the direction you're going, I'm going with it, but I'm going to be respectful and I'm going to build that rapport with you. So now at the end of that call, it's like, okay, well, hey, sir, here is the price. Here is the breakdown. And now he's going to be like, okay, that don't sound too bad, because he's had that rapport. You're not just saying, well, hey, you're a transaction. Okay, what are you moving? When are you moving? How much stuff are you moving? Okay, well, based off of this, I'm going to charge you for shrink wrap. I'm going to charge you for mattress bags. I'm going to charge you for TV boxes. I'm going to charge you for this, and this. And then, hey, based off the hourly rate, I'm going to hit you for $300 an hour. I'm going to hit you for 2 trucks. I'm going to hit you for a trip fee. Oh, sir, your price is going to be $1,500. You didn't build no type of rapport with that customer, but you were hoping that he would pay what you want.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, you know what? Laugh and joke. Hey, ha ha ha. Okay, what are you moving? You know, it kind of stick to your script, but build that rapport. And I know some people don't like scripts, but you know what? Scripts keep people organized. It keeps people on track. You know, sometimes people are just talking, and you have that 70-year-old lady who want to talk to you for like a whole hour about nothing. And you just forgot your whole thought process of where the hell you were supposed to be. And, you know, and it's just like, damn, where I leave off? And you know, when you're thinking about where you left off at, she gonna bring up another topic. so, so you be like, God damn it. Oh man. And she's onto this. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I'm like, where? Um, so, so having that script where it's like, yo, okay, I'm left off where get her load up address, her unload address. Okay, hey, so what do you actually have that you're moving in bedroom one? Well, hey, I have a bed in there, but you know, my husband, he don't know what he want to do with that bed. Damn it, she's on this tangent again. Okay. Anything else in there, Sue? And and before you even get through one bedroom, again, it done took you 15 minutes. And she got a 3-bedroom house, so have fun. But that's why you want that script. The script is to basically keep you on track with where you are in your funnel process. Because ultimately you want to get to why they called you originally, which is to get that quote. And then from there, it's butter. Once you get the quote, if you guys know how to estimate based off of weight and cubes, hey, that's the easy part. But you need to build that rapport. And if you tell a customer, hey, I'm going to charge you $200 an hour, and some people are charging $190, you built that rapport that customer will go with you. They like you. They feel comfortable with you. They don't want to spend another hour talking to somebody else or 2 hours talking to somebody else. It just happens to be that way. My sales team used to get mad as hell at me, like, oh, you were on that call for like 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, what was the end result? I booked it. I booked the job. And you on the call for 5 or 10 minutes, and you told the customer, oh, I'll give you a call back. The difference is the rapport that you built with that customer, the open ear, the undivided attention that they got. All right, guys. So anything else on your end?
Yeah, I mean, I do want to say something about professionalism and
Oh, now look at
Okay.
that.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, Clifford.
yeah,
But
you're good.
we got 7 minutes, but we gotta let Clifford talk for 7 minutes to the end of the show, because when he finished talking, there ain't no come back. Okay, sorry.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm sorry, Clifford. I definitely didn't mean to cut you off, but I said, okay.
You're good, brother. No, you're good. No, you're
Let's
great.
let
You're
him,
great.
because he throw out some gems at you, boy. And you're like, man, let me absorb that, right?
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. But I was talking professionalism, and Phil to me is the equivalent of complete professionalism. Even you got transparent here, and you talked about what happened, and you talked about the situation. And to me, a professional is someone who takes what they do seriously, but they also don't take themselves too seriously. We're human beings having human experiences, and sometimes we're going to hit it out the park and do it great, and sometimes we're going to whiff. But the most important thing that I know is when I can be open with what I've done, because I've done excellent business and I've done terrible business before. But here's the thing: I always make it up to the person. I make it up. I say, hey, I screwed this up. How do I make it right? How do I make it better? And I do my best to make it right. And what's interesting, they love you more for this. Actually surprised me. They love you more for screwing up and making it better than how they would love you with the expectations that they're just used to getting. Like, they have expectations, and if you meet the expectation every time, okay, that's their expectation. But if you make a mistake and then you make it better, because that's hard to do. It's hard to put your ego to the side and go, hey, how do I make this right? How do I make this the way that it would be right? This is a game of leadership. It always was and it always will be. And things don't change. Times change, that's for sure. And what people find important, that changes, that's for sure. But as a leader, it's figuring out, like, okay, I know there's a solution in here somewhere. Where's the solution? And the solution is people. Like, that's ultimately what it is. People are the ones who even give us business in the first place. people are the one who also can irritate us quite a bit. And knowing that we serve people and figuring out, okay, how do I, Dwyght, you were talking about where do we get better? Where do we have to get better? And why do we have to get better in that area? You know, what are you the best in? And what do you tell your people you're the best in? And can you prove that? Do you prove that you're the best in that thing? Whatever it may be. I know there's tough times for sure. So all the respect and love to every moving company owner out there. But just as Phil was being very transparent, I respect transparency. I respect being able to say, hey, this is what's going on, but this is what we're going to do, guys. You know, that's what a leader does. Sometimes scary as shit. When the shit hits the fan and you tell your guys, all right, it's hit the fan, but I got a plan. Who's with me? So that's all I got to say.
I just had that this morning with one of my guys who's been with me for a long time. I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, man, we're gonna do what we need to do. You know, we got some other things going on, so we got some ideas. You know, you don't know what's going to happen if you don't try. But you know, that guy is trying to hold firm on that. I'm just, you know, don't matter if this industry or not, man, whatever. That guy is holding on to, we got a perfect resume, dude. Trust me. I mean, I have a perfect resume online, you know, and we're known for running a good business. Now, those reviews speak volume, especially on certain platforms. You know, you go look at one company on Google, they got freaking, 1,000 reviews and ain't none of them bad. You go look on another one and they've got freaking half a star. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? And all the reviews they got on Google, that person on the person that left them a review, 80 of the people only left one review for one person. And guess who? Them. You know, they made their own reviews. So, people get it. But at the end of the day, man, not trying to stick to that guns of we run a good company, we're going to stick firm to this. Don't get me wrong, man. You got people still spending money, bro. Me and my wife, we ain't got it like that, but it is what it is. But we're very conservative, dude. People, and we're getting a little bit more conservative now. Things that we don't need. I mean, just like anybody else, you can take this as $100 $1,000 millionaire, billionaire. We all have limits, man, and where we're going to be conservative at. And if everything's tanking, why are we going out here spending money on an RV? I was looking at an RV like the beginning of the year, and I'm like, as I've seen the economy declining, and I'm like, why am I going to buy an RV? Shit, I got a house. Like, I don't need that right now. I was looking at jet skis and freaking all kind of shit, dude. I'm like, I don't need that shit right now. Stock market crashing. I'm like, man, you know what I mean? I'm just,
yeah.
We seen it happening, man. And I'm, just a regular old guy, I ain't got no billions of dollars, and I've already stopped spending. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, before we clock out, guys, it's one of those things where if we can expand our AP, our accounts payable, even in these trying times, like, obviously we don't want to have bills stack up on us, but hey, if we just to stay alive, if we need to stretch a bill 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks out and pay it at that point, whatever we got to do, don't get overwhelmed by the bills. The bills are going to be the bills. The bills are going to recycle itself and come back to you next month anyways. So unless you got any one-off bills where you're like, well, hey, this one-off bill is really holding me down. If I can get this one-off bill, in a couple of months, I'll recover and be able to be back on track. Okay, maybe think about those. But if it's like rent, CRM, payroll is always going to be every week, and whatever else you got going on, stretch it out.
Or don't pay it.
Don't listen to Phil though, because you.
Hey guys, I got to take off.
But all right, y'all. So again, go out, turn up, and y'all take care. We'll see y'all next week. All right, everybody.